Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we're going to be talking about Rasputin Dreamweaver. Love this guy. He's one of the greats from Legends. We all know it's Rasputin. I love the flavor here. The original Russian Rasputin was, had seven. The number seven was very indicative of him. Anyway, yeah, that's like 8 lines of text. So what we got here is 6 mana 4/1. It comes in with 7 counters. You can remove a counter to prevent a damage, or you move a counter to get a colorless mana. So this is blue-white mana ramp, 6 for 7. And if we can, speed that up, or my thing was I want to bounce him because it comes into play, you rip off 7 counters, you bounce him, he comes into play with 7 more counters, and you rip those off, and you've got 14. That was living the dream for me. Now, there are a bunch of cards that slot nicely in this deck that I didn't put in here because, I ain't got them. A Mana Vault, Grim Monolith would be absolutely perfect. Emrakul, beautiful things. Anyway, let's talk about the blink. So the first place I went to was the dark place. I'm using the wrong box. I got to use the top of the box so the stuff don't. Went to a very dark place first, the Deadeye Navigator. When you're talking blink and stuff, this is what you want to be doing. Now, granted, it is 6 mana, but once you get this, as long as you can produce a blue, man, you've got a ton of mana. Eldrazi Displacer. Now, Eldrazi Displacer, we actually benefit from those dual lands that are like tap for a colorless or tap for a white or blue. So that's, I think I've only got 1 or 2 waste in here. Anyway, with the fetches, I say the fetches. Your version of fetches and mine are different. The wilds and the expanse. But this will also, hey, Rasputin does colorless too. I didn't think about that. So this is infinite. Wow. Yeah. I just built this. I've actually been working. I haven't played it yet. I'm recording this the day after the Ixalan pre-release. But yeah, so this is living the dream. Flicker Wisp. White main line is the good savior Rasputin when they try to kill it, because it doesn't take too long to figure out what you're going to do with your general. And you don't want to give it Shroud or anything because, maybe hexproof, but I didn't really include that because for whatever reason. Brago. I mean, if we can do it every turn, hey, that's fine. Ghostway protects our team, which our team is pretty much him. Well, momentary blink. Crystal Shard's going to blink him. Miss Metal Witch. And the Vanish into Memory. Now, we do have a little more here. The Erratic Portal is obviously, it can be decent defensively as well as trying to do what your thing is, but we've got it in here to blink Rasputin. Turn to Mist was the Mist Metal one shot. Ghostly Flicker is another good save my dude thing. So is Supplant Form. Now, granted, it is 6 mana, but if you're doing this with your general, you're probably going to net some colorless out of this. So now, Conjurer's Claws, it just does it at the end of your turn. So that's my blinkage, if you will. Now, as far as the ramp, I've got the ramp that I got. Soul Ring, a Bloom, which I'm not thrilled about, but I've got it in here pretty much as a placeholder for the Gilded. Then, of course, we have our regular guild ramp. Oh, get in there, cameo. Felwar Stone. Manolith. Sorry, I dropping those. That was bad. The Dreamstone. And of course, that's my Worn Power Stone slot. But doubling cube. This is, I mean, this is what you want to be doing with your Soul Ring on turn 1, obviously, or, well, anything on turn 1 with your Soul Ring is amazing. Now, because of that, we're going to go search for it with something for Fabricate. If it's not that, then it's something else. Card draw. Card draw is a big thing, because we've got a, now, Impulse is more filtering than card draw. I'm using the Blue Sun Zenith, Pull from Tomorrow, and Stroke of Genius, mainly because they're all instants. And they are coming up with the blues, not that big a deal. But it lets you draw a bunch of cards, and X spells with a mana guy that you blink. I mean, you could potentially be drawing some serious cards here. And then I classify Time Reversal as card draw too, because you're probably not going to play it unless it benefits you dramatically. Now, oh yes, Rescue is, back in the day we were rescuing Stasis, but this time we're rescuing Rasputin, which is funny if you know anything about the Rasputin here on, the third rock. Got some original Jace there for a little bit of card draw. Planar Bridge is a kind of expensive card at 6 and 8, but when you're dumping the kind of colorless mana that we can generate here, man, that's not that much at all. And then you can go get, crazy things, then just pop them into play. That's a Vincer's Journal, because, why not? And the 5 mana downside here is not that big a deal, since it's all colorless. I am running the Propaganda and the Ghostly Prison just because I don't really want to deal with being attacked. I mean, like, I really, really don't want to be attacked. So that's why I run a few board wipes here. Let me get this camera back here so that I can... Cards start stacking up, get closer to the lens. Did I have that Joker in there? No, that was Routing and Day. Okay. All those white board wipes. And as far as spot removal, I'm running the Path and, of course, the Sword. Now, that's a lot of artifact mana. So you know what? I'm dropping Armageddon in there just because there is a non-zero amount of the time where this will just win you the game. Especially if you've got the route and you can route before your turn. You pay the extra to make a route an instant at the end of whoever is before you. And so there's no dudes unless, say, some of yours be indestructible. We'll get that in a second. And then on your turn, you just get them, and, everybody has a hard time because you've got this Darksteel Colossus. It's hard to answer that with no land. Anyway, let's get to the part, since we are talking about Darksteel. Let's get to the part of what are we going to do with all this mana? So this is what we're going to do with all this mana. Oh, I missed a card. There's Snap. That's another rescue your dude. Now, the first place I went was obviously the big fatties with the Darksteel Colossus. But I was like, you know what? Big fatties. So we got the Oso. It's pretty cool. Artisan of Kozilek. You just got to cast it. Kozilek. Sure, why not? Ulamog. Wormcoil. Did a little clever impersonator, because this is probably going to copy one of your giant dudes, or one of your giant idiots, as they say. Probably your Darksteel. I don't really know how I feel about it being in here. It's probably just a placeholder right now because our big giant dudes, most of them are legendary. So, and it's not like we can. I don't know. I'm just not. This is probably the placeholder for Emmy. Sun Titan, yes, yes. Can you believe it? I'm running a Sun Titan in a deck without the Burnished Heart. Why am I not running Burnished Heart? I should be running Burnished Heart. It's even colorless. Okay, Sun Titan. Where's my? Do I still have a stack of Burnished Hearts? Yeah. Okay, last minute deck change. I wasn't really happy with the Clever Impersonator. Hey, look, guys, I solved the Clever Impersonator problem. We have the Burnished Heart. It helps the ramp, and it gives Sun Titan something amazing to do. And, you know, hey, problem solved. Just like that. Rider Replication's also a pretty good mana sink here. You know, we got only 2 color and 7 others, so that's that could potentially be the turn after you Rasputin. Or if you've got enough blues, it could be the turn you cast him. And you just put you 5 copies of Burnished Heart. Oh my god, 5 copies of Burnished Heart. I wonder if you can, if you do the 5 copies of Sun Titan and you've got the one Burnished Heart, if you could, because all those comes into play abilities go on the stack separately. I think you could actually, y'all help me out here with the rules. If you've got one Burnished Heart and you could cycle that Burnished Heart 5 times. I don't know. Anyway, our last card that is a great mana dump is, of course, Memnarch, because, you know, it gives you all the toys. Like, all the toys. Memnarch is just a horribly oppressive card to play against, especially with this amount of mana ramp. You don't even, I mean, if your general gets shut down or by some board state that you can't get around, you can just get a Memnarch win. It's crazy. When I was playing around building, I had like a Forge in the deck, but I don't know. Right now, I'm just not comfortable with the Darksteel Forge in the deck. I wanted to have another beater in that slot. But that is what I've got for Rasputin Dreamweaver. Shout out to my buddy Joe, who actually traded me the Rasputin Dreamweaver. Appreciate it, Joe. I do appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, it is time for a shuffle and a cut.